Hello, my name is Roger Evans. I have Studio 212 at the GoggleWorks in Reading, PA, on Washington Street. I'm a journeyman artist. I've been working as a watercolorist and in my own gallery for almost 20 years. Prior to that, I've done work in graphic arts, and I've been in the arts. I started out as an abstract impressionist or an action painter in the Midwest. Oddly enough, I ended up as a landscape painter in Pennsylvania. It's usually the other way around. When you start in realism, you retire to more abstract work. But with me, being somewhat of a contrarian, I ended up as a landscape painter. The work that is in my studio is all watercolor. I'm not a photorealist. I'm often confused with photorealism. One of my patrons says I'm more like a writer than I am like a painter. The images come from the past, the present, and sometimes from dreams. As I said, I'm not a photorealist. I don't rely on photography too much. I rely on the experience of things, as writers do, which some people find hard to believe because the first thing they think when they look at my work is it looks like a photograph. Well, it doesn't really look like a photograph. It more closely resembles the way you remember something. The pieces in the studio are mostly Berks County, but there's a little bit of Lancaster County in here too. This is on the east side of Reading. It's a little stream that I walk by. I'm an avid walker, and that's where a lot of this stuff comes from. It's part of the Antietam Creek. I've deleted some landmarks here. If I painted this correctly, the Nick's Chatowell would be in there. But I got rid of Nick's Chatowell because I like the foreground better than the background. And this piece, again, these are watercolors. This piece is behind Carsonia Lake, which is down in Stony Creek. Carsonia Lake, which is one of the last vestiges of the Carsonia Park. There's a spillway behind it. And as part of my morning walk, I walk behind the lake. And I noticed the spillway because it's very interesting from season to season. This is a March piece, like the last snow of March. It's also very interesting in the summer when it's dry because all these trees that line this little creek, all the roots are exposed and it's very gnarled and it's very interesting. And there's some giant slabs of rock in the bed of this stream which are striated. They look like they could be glacial rock. This piece is an original piece, and it's of the Allegheny Creek. That's the small stream that runs through Gibraltar under 724. I have gone back to this stream many times because I used to fish there when I was a kid. So I may have done 20 paintings of this stream over the last 20 years. And this is the most recent one. It's called November Light. And it survives scrutiny. If you had a magnifying glass, you could find more than you would expect. That's the nature of my work, though. The more you look, the more you see. That's one of the hallmarks. So if you run across a painting in somebody else's house and you walk up to it and there's a lot more than you expected, it might be mine.
Turning Point Media, collaborating with global corporations and small business. Advancing the cause for nonprofit and civic organizations. Creating a competitive edge in a digital age. On target, on time, on budget. Change your direction with Turning Point Media.